9 things a friend should never do. A real friend is one of the rarest things a man can have. Loyalty is easy to perform and hard to prove, and most people around you are performing. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what a real friend looks like and how to identify the ones who have been wearing a mask. Pay attention to every single point, because the last one is the one everyone is too afraid to talk about. Let's get into it. Number 1. A real friend never stays quiet. When people are talking bad about you, silence in the face of disrespect is not neutral. It is a decision. A lot of people won't stab you in the back directly. Instead, they'll sit quietly in a room while your name is being dragged. They let people lie about you. They let the false narrative spread, and they contribute nothing but their quiet consent. A real friend doesn't pause to calculate the social cost before defending you. The response should be automatic the moment your name is disrespected. The people who stay silent aren't just avoiding conflict. They are comfortable sacrificing your reputation to protect their own comfort. That silence tells you exactly where you rank on their priority list. Anyone can play the loyal friend to your face. What they allow people to say behind your back reveals who they actually are. A person who stands by while your name burns is not a friend. They are just an audience member watching the fire. Number 2. A real friend never gives opinions about you behind your back that he wasn't man enough to say to your face. Cowards love to disguise gossip as just being honest. They'll call it keeping it real or saying what everyone thinks. And the crowd will nod along while your reputation gets slowly disassembled. All done by someone who shakes your hand and calls you a brother. Real honesty takes real backbone. If there's fault in the way you dress, talk, or walk, a genuine friend who sees your blind spots will pull you aside. Privately, directly, man to man. He gives you the respect of hearing the hard truth straight from him. But the second that critique gets aired in a room where you aren't present, it isn't helpful feedback anymore. It's cowardice in disguise. Saying it behind your back costs him nothing. Saying it to your face requires courage he simply doesn't possess. A real friend risks your temporary anger to tell you the truth. A fake friend risks your entire reputation to look insightful to others. If he didn't say it to your face, he never meant to help you. He just wanted to be heard without you there to respond. Number 3. A real friend never uses what you told them in private to shame you in public. Opening up to someone is an act of trust. You didn't tell the whole world. You picked that person specifically. You handed them a piece of your private life, a fear, a mistake, a truth you keep hidden. You gave it to them because you thought they were safe. And then they turned it into a public weapon. They didn't do it in private when things got heated. They did it in front of an audience. Where the humiliation hits the hardest, what you shared in vulnerability became their ammunition. That is not an accident. That is a deliberate choice. A real friend respects your confidence unconditionally, not just when things are good. The moment someone uses your private weakness to shame you publicly, the mask drops. They were never your friend. They were just waiting for the right time to strike. Number 4. A real friend never humiliates or mocks your mistakes. Failure is already heavy enough without a friend adding to the weight. When you stumble, there are 2 types of people watching you, the ones who help you stand and the ones who use your fall for entertainment. A real friend has seen your mistakes up close and holds them with care. He knows your worst decisions, but he never uses them to define you. Mocking your mistake in front of others isn't light-hearted banter. It is a deliberate choice to elevate himself at your expense. He uses your moment of weakness to make himself look smarter, stronger, or superior. A real friend corrects you in private with the intention of building you up. He doesn't need an audience to prove he was right. There is a massive gap between the guy who says, "I told you so" to a crowd, and the brother who pulls you aside to help you fix the mess. One protects your dignity, The other sacrifices it for cheap social approval. Your lowest moments are not content for someone else's entertainment. If he uses your mistakes to make others laugh, he was never in your corner. Number 5. A real friend never touches your girl. This boundary should go without saying, yet it gets crossed every single day. Betrayal like this rarely happens out of nowhere. It happens in the small moments you weren't paying attention, in the subtle conversations that went just a little too long, in the access you gave him because you trusted him near your entire life. He used the very access you granted to backstab you. Make no mistake, this is never a momentary lapse in judgment. It is a long sequence of deliberate choices. He looked you in the eye, called you his brother, and then dismantled your trust. He traded your entire history for temporary pleasure. A real friend looks at your woman and sees a permanent wall, a no-go zone, not an opportunity. It doesn't matter who initiated it or how complex the story gets later. A loyal man backs away out of respect for you. A friend who touches your girl was never your friend. You must cut them off immediately, including your girlfriend. Number 6. A real friend never abandons you in difficult times. Hard times have a way of clearing the room fast. When you are winning, everyone wants to sit at your table. The energy is high, and the circle feels unbreakable. It is ridiculously easy to mistake proximity for genuine loyalty when times are good. But the moment life hits you with a real storm, the crowd scatters. They suddenly become too busy. The texts get shorter, the calls go unanswered, and their presence vanishes. You end up navigating your darkest season alone and without support. A true friend doesn't care if standing with you is inconvenient, uncomfortable, or costly. He shows up because he values you, not just what you can do for him. Pay close attention to who checks in on you when you have nothing left to offer. Anyone can cheer for your highlights, but very few will sit with you in the dark. A man who vanishes during your struggle was never in your corner. He was just along for the ride. Number 7. A real friend never envies your success. Envy is the quietest threat in any friendship. It sits across from you at the table, smiling, clapping, and saying all the right things. But underneath that support, something far darker is taking root. An envious friend will gladly show up to your celebration. He'll post about your win and tell the world how proud he is. But behind closed doors, your progress eats away at his ego. Envy never stays hidden forever. It always leaks. It shows up as a compliment with a subtle insult buried inside. It looks like advice that sounds helpful, but quietly steers you off course. He wants you doing well, just never better than him. A real friend celebrates your success like it belongs to the whole team. He looks at your level up and feels inspired, not threatened. Real brotherhood has no internal competition. When you win, he feels like the whole circle wins. The friend who goes silent when you level up has already made his choice. A man who cannot clap for your victory will eventually plot your downfall. Number 8. A real friend never crosses your boundaries. After being told no. No is a complete sentence, and a real friend never needs it translated. Every healthy relationship has lines that mark where comfort ends and boundaries begin. A personal space that demands respect. A genuine friend hears your boundary and honors it without hesitation. A fake friend tests your limits under the guise of just joking. He pushes past the line, then calls you too sensitive when you call him out. He turns his disrespect around to make you feel guilty for holding your ground. He treats your clear no as if it comes with an expiration date. Repeatedly pushing past your boundaries isn't playful banter, it is a total lack of respect. It proves his momentary desires matter more to him than your peace of mind. They believe closeness gives them permission to bypass your comfort. In reality, a true brother respects your boundaries more than a stranger would, because he actually knows you well enough to understand why those lines exist. A connection that breaks the moment you say no was never built on mutual respect. It was built entirely on your willingness to tolerate disrespect. Number 9. Never apologize or take accountability. A man who cannot say he was wrong will never be right for long. Refusing to apologize is a direct statement that his ego matters more than your peace. When a friend refuses to take accountability, he makes a calculated choice. He decides that admitting a flaw is more painful than losing your trust. A real apology isn't a defeat. It's a demonstration of emotional maturity. It takes a real brother to set pride aside and say, "I messed up." People apologize to those they genuinely value and respect. If every conflict ends with you absorbing the blame, the dynamic is broken. Unaddressed wrongs don't just disappear, they build a wall of resentment. You end up carrying the weight of mistakes that were never yours to begin with. He will twist the narrative to make your reaction the issue instead of his action. Everyone makes mistakes, that's just part of being human, but a real friend owns his actions without being cornered into it. He doesn't minimize your hurt or turn the situation around on you. The strength of a bond isn't proven when things are smooth, but in how you repair what breaks. If he lacks the courage to say, "I'm sorry," he lacks the foundation to be a real friend. And here comes the most important part. Everything you just heard in this video is not just a checklist for what to look for in others. It is also a mirror. Because if you watched this video and recognized yourself in any of these points, the work starts with you. You cannot find a real friend if you are not willing to be one.